Balanced Living with Pastor B. You've guessed it, I'm Pastor B, and you are in for a great show. So let's get straight off into the show. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. If you are on Facebook, I'm asking you to do a watch party, share the page, like the page. If you are on YouTube, if you have not subscribed, I need you to go ahead and subscribe to Betty Alford Ministries. Ring the notification bell so that you do not miss a show. All right, my pastor has already been talking about how to remain relevant, and I'm just going to stay in that vein today, and we're going to talk about how to remain relevant. But first, I want to say to all of you who just cannot live without Facebook and Instagram, it was down, and I didn't even know it was down. I mean, y'all had some kind of Blue Monday, especially if you're nosy. You couldn't find out nothing going in nobody else on in nobody else's life. It lets you know that you got to get up and do more things with your life than on Instagram and Facebook first thing in the morning. I just wanted to share that. I didn't even know that it was down. But today, it has absolutely nothing to do with my show. I just thought that was funny that I had gone all day and didn't know that it was down until I saw it on the news. All right, I'm going to be on how do you remain relevant. Now, the first word to remain relevant is called innovation. Innovation. The root word is innovate. It means to make changes to something already established by introducing new ideas, new methods, and new products. Again, innovation, to make changes to something established by introducing new ideas, methods, and products. You need to innovate yourself, your own life. You need to reinvent yourself, introduce new ideas and new things to yourself in order to remain relevant. So the first word to remain relevant, you need to understand innovation. The Word of God says there is no new thing under the sun. And I'm going to show you what the millennials think that are new, or things that have been innovated. They have come up with just new names. There's nothing new under the sun. These things were already established many, many moons ago, many decades ago. And all they've done is changed the name. They became innovative, okay? One of the most famous today is the hashtag. The hashtag is nothing more than the number sign, the pound sign. If you're on the phone, especially if you're calling someone like AT&T or Comcast or somewhere that you have to stay on a long time, they'll tell you hit pound for this, such. Hit your number, then press pound for such and such. Hashtag, the number sign, pound, all the absolute same thing. Then you have what's called the Chucks. Y'all thought y'all had something new then. Chuck Taylors are just those same Converse that I wore in junior high playing basketball. Nothing new, nothing new. Capris, pedal pushers, that's all. Capris are those pants, pedal pushers that were worn on the show Grease. I remember when I first watched Grease, I watched it twice. I stayed in the movie theater for another show, watched it twice. Those pants that Olivia Newton-John had on when she acted next to John Travolta in Grease, pedal pushers, pedal pushers. Wide leg crop pants, what are they? Gachos, culottes, same thing, different name. A wallet, haven't you heard your parents say, bring me that billfold? You have to be my age or older probably to know anything about that. A purse, pocketbook. Bring my pocketbook. Get my pocketbook. My grandmama used to get my pocketbook off that floor. Pocketbook, nothing new. Same thing, different name. Pants, slacks. What were they called back then? Breeches. Nothing new. Tube tops. I went into the mall looking for a tube top. And I think I was in Journeys, and I asked a young lady, do you all sell tube tops? She said, what is that? I said, wow. So I explained it to her, and she said, oh, a half top? I said, is that what y'all call it now? Same thing. Tube top, half top, half top. All of these are the same things, but to remain relevant, they changed the name. And on some of the things, they just update prints in fashion. They change the fabrics, but it's the exact same thing. There is nothing new under the sun. They were just innovative. Innovative people ask lots of questions. They ask, why can't it be done? You're asking me something, I'll say, well, why can't it be done that way? Who said it can't be done that way? What's wrong? Why can't we go here? Why can't we do it this way? The innovative people ask lots of questions. Innovative people run after their passions. Now listen, they run after their passion. They are so passionate about it. They don't walk after it. They run after it because their juices are going. So they run after what they're passionate about. They don't do be like the tortoise or the turtle. They go like that hare, and they run after their passion. Innovative people travel to experience new things and new cultures. Some people go all the way to, just to another state and eat at a restaurant, they get the same old thing, some chicken. You could have got that when you were at home. Try new things. Find a restaurant that has something that you have never eaten before. Innovative people like to experience new things and new cultures. They don't limit themselves. They think outside the box. They realize that there is no growth without change. Innovative. That's the first word. The next word, in order to remain relevant, is creativity. Creativity involves imagination. It's the ability to come up with new ideas, to invent, to be artistic in nature. Creativity. A creative person has no problem experimenting with things as long as the outcome is different. They'll sit there and try and finagle with that thing all night, figuring it out until they come up with something different. Creative. Creative people, these are people who are dreamers. They daydream a lot about what things could be, where they want to be. They dream a lot. They are creative thinkers. When you say no to a creative person, they will look for the possibility in a thing. You say, no, I don't think that's going to work. Well, I think if we tried it this way, it might work. They look for the possibility in a thing. Their mind is always thinking on what can be done next. They're never in the present in their mind thinking. They're always thinking about what can be done next. And not just what can be done, how can it be done differently. They blaze trails. And these are people that others take their ideas and follow it because they are trailblazers. You need to always have a creative person in your life in order for you to innovate. All right, things you must evaluate to determine relevance. Are you relevant? Things you need to evaluate in your life to determine relevance. The first one, are things around you changing faster than you are? Are things around you changing quicker than you are? You must change with the times that we are in today. Now, if you don't believe that 2020 brought about change, you're already behind. 2020 has brought about tremendous change. And forget about it going back. It will never be the same. So you need to innovate. 2020 brought about some serious changes. And if you haven't seen them, if you don't know it, you're already behind. So the first thing are things changing around you, and they're changing faster than you, and you don't even know it. What worked yesterday may not work today. So you have to change methods. I'm going to give you some examples of things that worked yesterday and may not even be existing today. The rotary telephone. You know that phone, you dial, You have to wait till the number get all the way back. Then don't miss dial. Man, you got to start all the way back over. But the good thing about those rotary telephones, they didn't have call ID. Could nobody tell who was calling. The rotary telephone today, we have sales. Almost every adult in the world has a cell phone. Even if it's a flip phone, they have a cell phone. Now, listen, communicating by phone didn't change. The method changed. They no longer dial. You have push buttons, and you have cell. So most people don't even have a landline. I still do. The method didn't change. We're still talking on the telephone. The method of the phone has changed. The manual typewriter changed. Now you have iPads, you have laptops. The typing didn't change. The method, the product changed. Okay? The CRT or the tube television, that large back television, now we have flat screens. Still a television, innovative. It's changed. Analog system on the television. I remember when they was saying on the news all the time, if you don't get these boxes, the analog system is going to be out, and you're not going to be able to watch the news. You're not going to be able to watch programs. They kept on insisting that we got those little boxes because analog system was out. Everything is gone digital. So the method is not yet. We still watch television. It's just how they do it. Digital era now is in. I want thinking about the tornado that hit this church a few years ago, and you have to understand that all storms are not the devil. That was definitely a blessing from the Lord. Listen at this. The tornado only hit upstairs in the sound room and in the sanctuary. It did not hit the foyer. It did not hit my office. It did not hit Apostle Richardson's suite. It did not hit the crying room, the children's church, the nursery, no finance office, security office. It hit nothing. No restrooms, just upstairs, audiovisual, and in the sanctuary. Why? The Lord forced us to upgrade. Everything now is digital. He forced us to change. And my God, oh, it was the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in my eyes. Can't you see these beautiful color plaids here? It allowed me to get what I wanted, these nice color plaids and these big screens. It was innovative, but it was through the Lord forcing us to upgrade. So God forced us to remain relevant. What do you need, number 2, to do, to end, to terminate, or to stop doing to remain relevant? What is it that you need to stop doing, terminate, end, whatever to remain relevant? Now, I visited a church, and this is so sad to me that they were stuck in a time capsule. Nothing had changed in the church. The people had not changed. The building had not changed. The place had not changed. The atmosphere is what I'm talking about. The place had not changed. The people had not changed. And the word hadn't changed. It's sad. The biggest part is I don't even think they recognized it. I don't even think that they know that they had not changed. They haven't innovated. So they can't be relevant. So what do you need to end, stop doing in order to remain relevant? In ministry, we have so many pastors giving words, but very few giving solutions. It's one thing for you to give me a word and trust me, I love the word of God. But you have to show me how to apply it today to remain relevant. So don't just preach to me and give me word when you're not giving me how a solution to apply it to my life today to remain relevant. What should I end in my life? That's what you have to ask yourself. That's draining me, keeping me busy but not productive, just slowing me down and hindering my real purpose. What's draining you? What's hindering you? Is it a job? Do you need to change jobs? What? Is it people? Whatever it is, what's hindering you, draining you, keeping you busy but not productive, slowing you down, keeping you from being relevant? You have to ask yourself the question. The next one, what can I include or mix with what I am already doing? Here's some examples. Elbow noodles plus cheese. What does it equal? Macaroni and cheese. Combine, got together, two things, elbow noodles and cheese made macaroni and cheese. Coming up next month, you're going to mix that bread with the turkey. What you going to get? Dressing. Two things you mix together, my favorite. Peanut butter plus chocolate. Reese's peanut butter cups. Anybody know me know that that's my favorite. Things mixed together to actually remain relevant. What can you mix in ministry, in business to remain relevant? What I've done in mixing ministry, I've mixed my show, Balance Living with Pastor B, to remain relevant. I am now talking to people that I never knew. If you're not on some kind of Zoom, Twitter, Clubhouse, Facebook, YouTube, some kind of social media platform or some kind of outlet right now, you're already behind because the world has changed to social media and to some type of virtual platform. So what can you mix with to make your ministry appealing, to make your business more appealing? I mix these lights. I love these lights. Now, let me pause. Let me balance. Because some people say, well, I don't want no lights in my church because that make it look like a club. The only way your lights will make it be in the same as a club is if the atmosphere is not conducive to the Holy Spirit. If the presence of the Lord is not welcome there. If there's no glory there. These lights have absolutely nothing to do with me praying and praising and blessing the Lord. Absolutely nothing. Most people that say that just can't afford the lights. So they have to say something about it. So always look. Do you understand that everybody's not going to like what you're doing? Understand what God has called you to do. Okay? There's nothing wrong with having lights. As a matter of fact, I've seen churches now dimming their lights more than ever. Buying spotlights now more than ever. Why? Just to remain relevant. That's all. It means absolutely nothing about no club. Okay? Don't let nobody even take you there. All right? What can you add to remain relevant? Okay? I have been thinking about since 2020, the beginning, maybe January of 2020, what to do to 4Z Boutique. And I have found out what to do now to remain relevant with my business. You've got to stay tuned. 4Z Boutique hopefully will be back in 2022. All right, the next question, who can I collaborate with to remain relevant? Who can I? The first one was what can I mix together? Now, who can I collaborate with to remain relevant? Now, if you were watching television last week, you see that, I believe it was called the Hip Hop Awards, and they gave the honor or some big award to Nelly. And Nelly, now, first of all, I can listen to Nelly. I don't like rap, but I can listen to Nelly because I understood what Nelly was saying. He's the only rapper that I understood what he was saying. So Nelly collaborated with Kelly. Nelly and Kelly Rowland got together and they produced one of the greatest love songs that was still relevant to me. And I thought it was called My Boo. The song really is called Dilemma, you know. Even when I'm with my boo, you know I'm crazy about you. No matter what I do. I love it still. They got together, collaborated, and made that song called Dilemma. Okay? Who else? Other great collaborations, Ron Isley and Robert Kelly. You know them as Mr. Big and R. Kelly. Let me pause there. Don't y'all talk about Robert. Robert need help. Pray for Robert, okay? But you can't take nothing away from Robert's voice. When Robert got together, R. Kelly, with Mr. Big, you're contagious. I'm going to leave it right there. Ha-ha! Collaborated to bring up a great song. Who else? Bruno Mars and Carly B. I am tripping in finesse. It don't make no sense. You know it, you know All right, who else? Let me go spiritual, because y'all done got off. I'm still saved, singing old songs, because you know church religious people need some church songs. Tasha Cobbs, Nicki Minaj. Church people railroaded Tasha Cobbs for collaborating with Nicki Minaj. All she was trying to do is broaden her audience. That's all Nicki Minaj was trying to do, get the church people. That's all. It's called collaboration. All right, let me go on, take it to the religious people. Shirley Caesar and Snoop, D-O-W-G. Snoop Dogg, Shirley Caesar got together. Green, beans, potato, tomato, chicken, turkey, you name it. Pastor Shirley Caesar, pastor, had enough sense to know wasn't nothing wrong with collaboration. In order to remain relevant, you too need to think of who you can partner with to remain relevant. Partners may help you do it faster, better, and more affordable. You just need to find them. They might help you do it faster, better, and more affordable. What have we done in this church? I have no more auxiliaries or ministry heads, team members, ministry head, ministry assistants. We all are teams. I've broken my location, Meridian location. This church is now in teams. We all get together and we work to actually be more effective and more relevant to the community. That's all. The Lord gave me a better way to reach the community in teams. So you've got to find out, too, what will make you relevant. I have a community endeavor that I'm doing. I meet with a lot of pastors, not ministry heads, city leaders, city officials, to come together to see what we can do in this city to remain relevant and to curb the crime and to help our children. All of it is to remain relevant. You need to also think of what you can do to remain relevant. You must determine what works and what no longer works. That was the first one, I believe. What works and what no longer works. And don't be afraid to stop it. If you're doing it and you see it's not productive, just end it. If you're in ministry and your people say, well, Pastor, I think we need to keep doing that. Is it productive? Is it producing anything? No, stop it. They might not understand it, but you need to be led by the Lord. What works, what does not work. In business, what's working, what does not work. What was not working for me was a brick and mortar. So what I do? Shut the baby down. I mail my packages out, haven't missed a beat. When I was open, didn't miss a beat. Because you have to think about what's working. All of that overhead I had, then a lot of people were coming from Philadelphia, Newton, and different places. And, hey, I can just mail their packages to them. Find out what works and what doesn't work. Don't be everywhere. Be focused. Stay single-minded. Be focused. Determine what you need to do. Then determine who you need to partner with, who you need to do it with, how you need to get it done. Don't even try to partner with everyone, because everyone does not fit your vision. Find out who it is you need to partner with to remain relevant. Anything and anyone that's relevant today is serving a need and they're solving a problem. I think I'm going to end there. Anything and anyone today who is relevant, you better believe they are serving a need. The greatest among you is what? A servant. They're serving a need and they are solving problems. That's what your focus need to be. You need to determine what I need to do to serve people and how to solve problems. If you do those things and all of these that I named, I promise you, you will remain relevant. All right, I've got to stop right there. I think I might come back with part 2 next week. Don't hold me to it. You know, I might change on you. But I'm telling you, in order to remain relevant, you have to be innovative and you've got to be creative. In this fast-paced, moving world, you have got to be innovative, you've have to be creative, and you have to partner, you have to collaborate, you have to do all of that. There is someone that can help you do it better, do it faster, And you've got to find that person. All right. Well, if you've been watching me, I want to thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all of you that always share my page. I appreciate all of you that tune in weekly. I want you to like the page, do a watch party, ask someone, are you relevant today? Are you stunted? Are you moving? You producing anything? Or you just standing idle? All right. I'm coming back next week, but if you've been watching me, this has been Balanced Living with me, Pastor B. I'll see you next Saturday.